Hello and welcome. I am the Suit&Tie Dip&ChewGuy, and this is the number 4 review of series number 12. Series number 12 is Fine Cut Wintergreen, and as you just saw, we will be taking a look at the Redseal product. This actually, I have not checked, but this may be the final Redseal of the line. I believe I have already done all the rest. So let's take a look at the packaging. Okay, so you have a plastic lid with a sticker on it. That said, it's a pretty good plastic lid. I mean, if you're going to get stuck with a plastic lid, then this is probably the one you want to get stuck with. Everything is pretty straightforward. It does note that it is 25% more tobacco, and it is. The Redseal cans are 1.5 net weight ounces. A normal can of dip is 1.2. Going to the side banding. It is 100% American grown tobacco. Manufacturer's information. It is 1.5 net weight ounces. It is tax class M, like all dip. And the website, which I have still been unsuccessful on getting onto, is goredseal.com. It is a product of the U.S. Smokeless Tobacco Company of Nashville, Tennessee, the makers of Copenhagen Skoal. Barcode and the side warning label. Little branding and the fact that it's Wintergreen Fine Cut. Sale only allowed in the United States. 100% American grown, underage sale prohibited, and the fact that this is smokeless tobacco. It's beyond me why U.S. Smokeless still feels the need to be pointing out that this is smokeless tobacco. And then back around to the branding and 100% American. On the back, we have a sell-by date of April 14th, 2019. And then the website again. April 14th, yeah, I mean, it's getting close, but you got to understand, with the exception of the last two products in this series, I ordered these on my last order, which was at the beginning of March, because I wasn't quite sure when I was going to need them. So it's only 2 weeks out now, but at the time it was like 6 or 7. So I've never had a problem with the Redseal products. I'm going to cut into this. Now, this can is actually physically bigger, which is why you don't get the normal U.S. Smokeless stamped fresh guaranteed. The rim is actually raised on these, which is what gives the plastic lid strength. And there is also a depression on the cans, but the can is actually bigger. If you take a regular can like this Grizzly, you're not really able to tell so much there, but there is a difference in can size. I don't know, maybe right there. So I'm going to open this up. Again, I've never had this product. I have had a good experience, though, basically with all Redseal products. So I'm not really expecting any surprises. Okay, it's a pretty strong Wintergreen. It's got a slight tobacco backing in the smell. Nothing really leading me to think that it is real sweet at all. The lid, which is another one of these new RS reverse stamped lids, shows the cut. It looks fairly consistent. You can see the RS there. Now, I don't know exactly how they do that. Must be in the molding. It's not depressed on the upside at all. So I am going to give this. I can get the lid back on, right? Didn't really move anything. Let me try something else here. Oh, got some coming out though. Nope. And if that doesn't do it, then it's not going to be done. So that's what it's looking like in there. There is a slight circular in the center there. That is actually the pressing of the circle around the RS on the inside of the lid. What'd be really cool is if the RS actually showed up in the tobacco, but it doesn't seem to. That is pretty darn close, except for, as usual, there is a sort of reddish brown tinge to it, which my camera does not show. So I'm going to take a pinch of this, and then, first I'm going to get that out of my eyes, and then I'm going to hit the pause button as usual. It's moist. It's real fine, though. It's real fine. All right. Wow. It's a bit of a mess. And I am back. Okay. It's good. It is not my favorite, though. I'm still going to go with the Grizzly product. It is not as sweet. It's not really sweet. I guess there's a sweetness to it, but I wouldn't... Sweet wouldn't come to mind if I was to describe this. It has a darker tobacco undertone to it, more so than the last two products. It's not sweet. I'm not saying it's bitter, though, either. It's the level of sweetness that you get automatically when you add Wintergreen to one of these products. But it hasn't been sweetened, 25% more tobacco is always a good thing. If you buy 4 of these cans, it's like buying 4 regular cans and having a 5th free, basically. That's how it works out, if you get my meaning. The lid is... I'm actually exerting some pressure there. The lids are great. For plastic, I mean, I still favor a metal lid, but there's really nothing to complain about with this lid. I mean, if all plastic lids were like the Redseal lids, then plastic lids probably wouldn't really have a bad rap like they do. Nicotine is there. I'll probably leave this in during the uploading process and maybe after. The flavor is a good Wintergreen. It's just not as sweet as the last two. And I still prefer the Grizzly. The cut on this is fine. I mean, it is for someone that appreciates fine cut for being fine, this has probably been the finest thus far, except for the Skull, which is by the same company, so it sort of makes sense. For me, someone that's not used to pinching fine cut, it's a bit of a mess. The desk took a hit on this. So, again, I'm going to favor the Grizzly product because as far as fine cuts go, it was pretty easy pinching with this stuff. It clung well. It wasn't, there were some floaters, but it wasn't out of control. It stayed formed in the mouth. This is staying formed too, but there were a lot of floaters going out when I initially spit in the sink. Now I have moved it around the side. There was a Wintergreen burn. It was pretty potent at first, but it faded off real fast. Okay. I'm taking a lot of the burns on these as whatever they do with the Wintergreen. I'm taking it that all these products thus far, the Grizzly, the Timberwolf, and this, the nicotine contents are fine. The Timberwolf might have been slightly lower. But I'll tell you what, I left that Timberwolf in for a long time last night. As it turned out, I lost track of what was going on here. I was watching a couple videos and whatnot, and I probably left that in over an hour, and the Wintergreen was still going pretty strong on it. So that should play in its favor. So this, good nicotine, good flavor. It's just not as sweet as the others. It's more along the lines of the Skull Original in flavor and also the cut. It's about even with the Skull Original. Doesn't pinch that great, not for me anyway. Spit's all right. There are quite a bit of floaters, but do keep in mind in these reviews, these fine cut reviews, I am not very versed in fine cut. I could count on one hand the times I had fine cut before I started this channel, and that is not an exaggeration. All right. The only one I repeatedly go back to is the Stoker's Fine Cut Natural. So, and Copenhagen Snuff. I have, which is even finer, but I mean, as fine cut stuff goes, those two are the only ones that I've repeatedly had. And then outside of them, one hand, easy. So the Redseal product is good, and it's a good deal. I mean, in my area, the stuff usually retails. This one I had to order in, but I can get the long cut varieties in my area at Walmart's, and they usually retail around $4.25 or $4.50. At that price, considering I'm in a metropolitan area, 25% more, that's a good deal here. Okay? My state is fairly okay still, dip prices wise, but I am immediately outside a major city. Okay? So our county taxes kick in and all kinds of goofiness. So Redseal, if you see it and you like fine cut and you like Wintergreen, then you should probably give it a try at some point. It would be a great, all these Redseal products they're a great stand-in. I mean, there's none of them I'd switch over to personally myself, but at the price, the amount, and the quality of the product and the packaging, if you're in a pinch and can't find your normal brand, I would have to say that this would be my go-to lower tier product. It used to be Timberwolf, but ever since I started this channel, it has been the Redseal products because they are quality. The cut isn't favorable to me, but I can't say it's a bad cut. It's just really fine. It is very consistent though. Okay, so this has been the review of Redseal Fine Cut Wintergreen from U.S. Smokeless Tobacco Company of Nashville, Tennessee, the makers of Copenhagen and Skull, amongst others. I am the Suit&Tie Dip&ChewGuy. I'd like to say hello and thank you to Kevin Cortez, D. Wade, and Danny Q. I have recently, in the last day or so, looked over my known subscribers. And I was a little bit horrified to find out that evidently I've had subscribers that I can see come in that I have not gotten notifications for. Now, as everybody knows, the notifications for YouTube are a little bit lacking, to say the least. So I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do about that, but if I haven't called you out and your subscriptions are open and I can see them when I go, I may do a deal where I ramble off all the names off that list because I don't know how else to approach it. Anyway, do check out Berg's Dip Reviews, Winnington Outdoors, Dirty Pat Walsh, Wayside Lee 83, Real Talk Studios, No Bluff Buff, and snoozefreak.com, the channel here on YouTube. I will be back tomorrow with the number 5 review, which is the Longhorn product. Do take care of yourselves, and God bless.